Two people are in the hospital after a shooting at a Broken Arrow McDonald's. How police worked through the night to try and track down the suspect.
A shortage of substitute teachers is making it hard for districts to keep the classrooms open. How Tulsa schools are working to recruit more subs.
A tragic loss for Tulsa's aviation team just hours after a Veterans Day flyover. Hear how her best friend wants her to be remembered after witnessing the crash that took her life.
Covering news that matters. Fox 23 News This Morning starts right now.
Good morning and happy Friday. I'm Naomi Kitt in for Michelle Lynn.
And I'm Ron Terrell. It is 4:30. The search continues for the person who shot two people outside of Broken Arrow McDonald's.
And Tulsa schools are looking for help, seeing a shortage of substitute teachers for the classroom.
We're breaking down both of those stories in just a moment, but first, meteorologist Michael Sager is tracking some cooler temperatures for your Friday.
Yeah, temperatures will be quite a bit increased later today in about 10 minutes.
In a developing story, a teenager and a young man are both fighting for their lives this morning after getting shot outside a Broken Arrow McDonald's. Fox 23's Amanda Gilbert is live near Aspen and the Broken Arrow Expressway with how officers tell us that shooter actually got away.
Naomi, police say the shooter drove away quickly, and they're still looking for whoever did this. This all happened in the parking lot behind me here. You can see it's pretty quiet out here this morning. I'm looking into that for the next 30 minutes. Reporting live in Broken Arrow, covering news that matters. I'm Amanda Gilbert, Fox 23 News.
Turning to the coronavirus this morning and an all-time high for active cases. Thursday, the State Department of Health reported more than 2,000 new cases. It's the second highest one-day increase in COVID cases. Since this pandemic started, more than 140,000 people have gotten the virus. Sadly, 11 more people died. There are more than 22,000 active cases across the state right now. State health officials are also reporting an all-time low for adult ICU beds, with only 49 available across Oklahoma.
The Tulsa Public School District is getting kids back in the classroom only to find a shortage in substitute teachers. Fox 23's Scott Martin is live at the Education Service Center explaining what the district is doing to get more help.
Yeah, Ron. Well, TPS says that it usually has.
Two state lawmakers have tested positive for the coronavirus. State Representative Tammy Townley of Ardmore and Kevin Wallace of Wellston. In a statement, Townley said she tested positive for antibodies this summer and had no reason to believe she was at risk. She posted pictures attending a Veterans Day event on Wednesday, but says she feels fine. Wallace says he is asymptomatic and in quarantine. You can read their full statements in this story on the Fox 23 News app.
Oklahoma prisons are dealing with an outbreak of COVID-19 cases. In the past week, the Department of Corrections confirmed about 900 of the roughly 1,100 inmates at the Just Done Correctional Center in Muskogee County were in quarantine. That's about 80%. Prison officials say it's an open dorm quarantine where hundreds of inmates are quarantining together. The Department of Corrections says it's managing the situation with the help of the health department.
Distance learning continues for students at Bixby's North Elementary. Bixby 9th through 12th graders started on Monday.
The superintendent released a statement saying it'll take a community-wide effort to slow the spread of the virus so students can return to school. He went on to say, quote, "This means avoiding large gatherings of people outside of our families, wearing a mask at all times when social distancing is not possible, washing our hands often, honestly reporting positive cases and contacts, limiting some of our indoor social activities, and being responsible Bixby citizens."
In addition to Bixby, Sand Springs, Jenks, Muskogee, and Glenpool are among the growing list of districts deciding it's safest to have students temporarily distance learn. They joined Broken Arrow, Union, and Tulsa Public Schools. You can find an updated list on the Fox 23 News app.
Integris Southwest in Oklahoma City is giving us an inside look at their coronavirus floor.
Just trying to handle today's challenges today. Tomorrow's challenges will come tomorrow, and we'll do the best we can with them.
This video is part of their Doctor Diary series, with patients giving them permission to share their stories. One of their younger patients on the floor, Bethany Walters, has been there for 5 days.
So what's been the toughest part of all of this? Breathing?
Just so sad. The doctor giving the tour said their hospital is getting more and more full, with no ICU beds available Wednesday at any of their facilities.
Tulsa police have identified a suspect accused of a violent home invasion. It happened last month at a couple's home near 31st and 129th East Avenue. Police say Deshaun Patrick and another suspect at gunpoint put a 74-year-old man in a headlock, then forced the man and his wife inside the home where the suspects stole a wallet, keys, and drove off in the couple's SUV. Police say surveillance pictures from a North Tulsa Walgreens appear to show Patrick and a woman with the victim's SUV and using the victim's credit card. No arrests have been made.
A Tulsa doctor lost his medical license after an investigation into a prescription drug conspiracy, including opioids and the powerful synthetic drug fentanyl. U.S. Attorney Trent Shores says Dr. Christopher Moses operated a pill mill, profiting from illegally issuing prescriptions for a number of controlled substances. A federal judge sentenced the 67-year-old to 1 year of home confinement, 5 years probation, a $200,000 fine, and the forfeiture of $1.8 million. That represents the money that was made from that crime. Repairs on a broken water line could slow down your drive to work today. City crews are working to fix the broken 12-inch line you can see on this map. It's near 71st and Lewis. The eastbound curb lane and middle lane of 71st are closed just east of Lewis. Those repairs are expected to be finished up by early next week. And as you head out the door this morning, it's a lot colder than we've seen the last few days.
Meteorologist Michael Sager is tracking that cool start out there in the Fox 23 Severe Weather Center, along with some chances for rain.
Yeah, we've got a chilly start this morning. We'll notice temperatures struggling to warm up today, and grab the umbrellas too. I think our rain chances in eastern portions of Green Country tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. We'll get a look at that and how much warmer we'll be going into your Saturday afternoon in just about 10 minutes.
A piece of Oklahoma history to hang from your Christmas tree. Why this year's message is as much about strength as it is holiday spirit.
When I found out about it last year, I was brought to tears, to be quite honest.
A local organization is helping to make sure children have gifts under the tree this year. We found out how you can help.
She always had a huge smile on her face. She would literally light up the room whenever she would walk in.
A Tulsa pilot remembered for more than her time in a plane what made her final flight special, as her aviation family is in mourning.
Only on Fox 23, we're learning more about an Owasso woman's final moments flying over the Tulsa Veterans Day Parade. Shortly after, she lost her life in a car crash near the Tulsa Air and Space Museum.
Fox 23's Mariah Ellis spoke with the victim's best friend, who showed up just seconds after it all happened.
Tulsa is destroyed after a fire. You can see here all of the charring on the roof. It happened around noon Thursday near 46th Street North and Iroquois. Tulsa firefighters say no one lives at the home, but there was a man working on a car in the garage without permission.
The next thing I heard, a boom, 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 boom. I don't know if it was a gas tank or what.
You saw just how damaged that car was. It actually blew up, starting a fire that spread to the home. That man was injured while pushing the car out of the garage. A neighbor who tried to put out the fire was also hurt.
The city of Tulsa released its annual report on how sales tax dollars were used in the last fiscal year.
There were 28 voter-approved projects completed using money from sales tax and general obligation bonds, totaling more than $100 million. The biggest project was the construction of a $19 million barn at the Tulsa Fairgrounds, followed by the $16 million Aero Bus Rapid Transit program.
Money from Vision Tulsa, Improve Our Tulsa, and a 2014 GO bond were used for those projects.
A local organization for foster families is working to provide Christmas gifts to thousands of foster children across Green Country. I talked with Mandy Graham at Fostering Connections. She told me the organization is seeing a huge need this year. They actually gave me this video when volunteers started moving in some of the donated gifts for the Fostering Joy program. They tell me, though, they need a lot more donations.
I think a lot of it is COVID related because we had a lot of large companies that sponsored, and this year they just haven't been able to do as much as they did last year.
Most years, the organization provides gifts for around 1,400 children. This year, they've expanded from just Tulsa County to include Muskogee, Okmulgee, and Comanche, increasing their numbers to around 2,500 children. You can find out all of the ways to help in the free Fox 23 News app. And I also got a chance to talk with a couple of foster moms yesterday. They say that this program just such a blessing for them.
Yeah, it's such an awesome program, and definitely helping out kids across the area. Right now, Fox 23 also helping out with our radio partner, Mix 96.5, to help stock the Community Food Bank of Eastern Oklahoma's backpack program. Helps children who rely on meals at school to have something to eat over the weekend. It costs $150 to provide a backpack of food for a Green Country child for an entire year. Every donated backpack will be matched by Kim and Scott Burnett of Burnett Home Improvement. The program runs until November 25th. We have a link on the Fox 23 News app for you to donate.
When I walked into work this morning, I had that big coat on because it was really cold out there.
It is cold out there to start things off, and it's really not going to warm up all that much today. Meteorologist Michael Sager tracking a much cooler day out there along with some rain chances.
Absolutely.
The time now is 4:50.
You know, I'd say she's lucky that she didn't get injured.
Heavy smoke and massive flames at an East Tulsa home. The extensive damage inside and why firefighters say it could have been much worse.
And the YMCA has a responsibility to this community to be able to serve families. We'll continue to do so.
Making it easier to help those families during this pandemic. The services offered at the YMCA to help those in need. Plus, a big welcome to more than a dozen new citizens, the countries they represent.
Tulsa Public Schools is celebrating National Native American Heritage Month with a week of activities. Starting Monday, the district's Indian Education program is giving students supplies for 4 cultural activities, including beadwork and weaving lessons. Families can pick up their supplies today at the Indian Education office near 41st and Memorial from 9 to 4.
Tulsa has 20 new American citizens.
City leaders hosted 2 naturalization ceremonies at City Hall. They had 10 people each on Thursday. The new American citizens represent 7 different countries, including Mexico, India, Romania, and Nigeria.
Several COVID-19 precautions were taken, including wearing masks. You can see it in these photos, spacing chairs 6 feet apart, and no handshaking.
It's tough to see them with the masks on because you want to see those smiles on their faces because it's such a happy day for everybody involved.
Absolutely. Just a new experience for them. And then, of course, new because of the coronavirus as well.
Exactly.
This year's state ornament focuses on Oklahoma's history, but also its strength. The 2020 design features the Survivor Tree, honoring the 168 victims of the Oklahoma City bombing 25 years ago. The organization, Friends of the Oklahoma Governor's Mansion, says the tree's roots run deep as a symbol of hope around the world. The ornament is about $17 on the Governor's Mansion website and at the Oklahoma City National Museum gift shop.
Right now, 4:55 is the time. 2 people injured after a shooting in Broken Arrow. What police say may have led up to the gunfire. A shortage of substitute teachers is causing concerns in several school districts. The new ways schools are trying to recruit teachers.
Live look outside over downtown Tulsa. A chillier start for us this morning compared to where we were yesterday morning. We'll break down the numbers and who's seeing temperatures below freezing in just about 3 minutes.